Hey YouTube, Flightsimguy here, and welcome to the last flight in my Florida tour, going from Tallahassee, Florida, back to Columbus, Ohio. Wrapping up this tour in the Coronado Phenom 300. So let's go ahead and get this thing powered up.
Terrain system test OK.
HTOS test OK.
Interesting point to note, this time around, I think I need to go in and configure the cold and dark for this plane because it loaded up with the engines running. So, not a big deal, but let's go ahead and fix that.
Temperature 2.19, altimeter 3005, ILS, runway 36 in use. Landing and departing runway 36. VFR aircraft stay direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Juliet.
Yep, this is how you're supposed to do stuff, folks. You go through each set of instruments and switches and do what needs to be done. And at the end of that process, go to your checklist and make sure that everything is in order. You know, what I just said there is actually pretty accurate. I asked a question on the FSX Facebook user group. Exactly how do you use checklists? I mean, I know it sounds like a silly question, but there are two schools of thought. You can have the checklist drive your activities, such as some sort of procedures and whatnot, but in reality, that's not how you're supposed to use a checklist. Usually, you go through your startup or whatever phase of flight by memory, and once you're done with everything that you need to do, you whip out the checklist and you go through it as a QA or quality assurance tool to make sure you didn't miss anything. Now, in this case, it didn't matter because I didn't use a checklist because these ultralight or very light jets are very easy to fly. But that's typically how it's supposed to be done. Also, I apologize for the voice. I had my audio screwed up while I was recording this, so I had to do a voiceover to make up for the narration. Damn it. Alright, so let's go ahead and get going with the flight. To make things more interesting, I loaded up the number of passengers in this particular flight to about 7, with each weighing in at 200 pounds. I also put in about 400 or 500 pounds of cargo and luggage and whatnot. And it reflected that in the taxiing attributes. It was a lot more sluggish. Wanted to put this plane through a little bit of testing with regards to its performance on the extra weight. This plane behaves a lot like the Learjet in FSX, the stock Learjet. The engines are pretty powerful. The Lear 45 is famous for having the ability to overspeed on one engine, and I get the feeling this plane could probably do the same thing.
Tallahassee ground, altitude 239er, please do out ready to taxi IFR.
Altitude 239er, taxi to and hold short of runway 36 using taxiway Sierra Mike. Contact tower on 118.7 when ready.
takeoff, OK.
Set.
November 850 Hotel Papa at runway 36, ready for takeoff, north departure. Embraer November 850 Hotel Papa, cleared for takeoff, runway 36, north departure, approved.
110. Here we go. Gotta say, my 2 years at Florida State were 2 of the best years of my life. Granted, that part of Florida is very, very racist, hostile, black folk. But I gotta say, man, I really enjoyed my years at Florida State. Just gotta watch out for the KKK, you know. Many times, come outside, must be great. You're up.
Embraer 0 Hotel Papa, releasing my airspace. Frequency change approved.
We come out of apartments and see KKK recruiting flyers. That's up. And the windshield or the windscreen wiper, well, on cars. Come on out, join KKK. And like I said, that aside, FSU was you know, good times. Good times. Bye, Tallahassee. See ya. Alright, let's go ahead and get the autopilot going. Come off the gas a little bit.
Tower, Delta 1219er, ready to go. Runway 36, IFR to Atlanta. Delta 1219er,
Autopilot,
cleared for takeoff.
nav.
Runway 36,
Go to breakfast.
cleared for takeoff. Runway 36, Delta 1219.
Traffic, 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 traffic.
Now this flight was very, very uneventful. I have to admit, all the flights I've taken in Coronado's Phenom 300 were very, very uneventful. I'm not sure if it's a coincidence or it says something about the quality of this add-on and how easy it is to fly and operate. And because of that, I cut out most of this video. It's about a 600 nautical miles flight, and most of it was very uneventful. I just fired up the autopilot and let the plane do its thing. And funny point, I took off on runway, I think it was 36, from Tallahassee, heading north. Once I took off, I was immediately on the flight path enable navigation, and the flight from Tallahassee to Columbus, if you look at a map, it's almost a straight line north. So there was not much deviation going around, you know, zigzagging or anything. It was pretty much all the way north. So we're at our top of descent, going down. I had to look at the flight plan and figure out which waypoint is my top of descent. There is an add-on that supplements, it's like a Navigraph add-on that supplements the flight management system in this particular plane. And once you get that add-on from Coronado, it makes the flight management and navigation capabilities of this add-on equal to that of the real aircraft. But all I do is I create my flight plan using SimBrief and SkyVector. In this case, going from Tallahassee to Columbus, there were no predefined routes. So I had to use that technique where you just go into SkyVector, enter your destination and your arrival. It puts a straight line in between, and then using your mouse, you just drag your flight path to various waypoints, VOR stations, and whatnot. And using that flight plan, once it's generated, punch that into SimBrief and let it create the flight plan for me. And I just go ahead and save the flight plan, load it in this particular flight, and there you have it. And that works out pretty good. I want to say these three things are, like I said, a relatively uneventful flight, so most of the descent was cut out. Here, I'm coming straight up from the south, and the flight path had me going directly over Rickenbacker Air National Guard. That's a guard base, so I'm pretty sure it's restricted airspace. The original plan had me going to Port Columbus, but I figure I live right by Bolton Field, so that's where I should be landing. They take jets all the time. So I disabled or turned off the autopilot, banked left for a little bit, stay out of Rickenbacker airspace. Actually, I violated it a little bit, and made my way over to Bolton Field. And it was very, very uneventful, easy flight. There. Alright, let's go ahead and come perpendicular, flaps 1. I'm trying to turn my course. It's not working. There we go. Well, this is not, there is no localizer or glide slope for runway 22. Is for running 4, but not 22. Okay, back up at 5,000. I need to come down. Bolton should be over there somewhere. I'll go ahead and use a map to guide me in. Again, still doesn't look back in airspace. That's okay. That's my trim setting. Oh, my trim is way out of line. There. Stall. Yep. Some altitude. 5,000 feet. Still pretty high. I want to say that's Bolton Field right there. It's one thing that X-Plane has over FSX. The scenery is a lot better. Much more three-dimensional.
Cleared to land, runway 22.
Cleared to land, runway 22. Embraer 0 Hotel Papa.
Yes, as I was saying, much better scenery. Much better frames, it won't crash on you, and the list goes on and on. Alright, so this is going to take me to Columbus. Here. I'll use this opportunity to lead off some altitude. We're already at flaps 1. Once I hit the side of the river right there, I'll go ahead. Come left. Still a bit high. But I don't think it's. Yeah. Fine again. Come 70 degrees to the left. Remember, folks, I'm at idle here. The engine of this plane is virtually overpowered. Maintaining altitude even though I'm trying to use altitude.
Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate.
That's not my airport. Belgrade airport is off to the left. Yes, Dodgy Dam on Columbus Airport is on. That's right. This airport there is this airport there. Still too high. Let's trim down some. Alright, I think at about this is 270. So once I'm right there, I can go ahead and come right some more. Should pop up right in front of me. Still too high. Good angle. Laps. Break out. Alright, so I'm making my turn to final. One thing you learn about any add-ons that represent or recreate something from
Glide to
Embraer,
slope.
you
Glide to
will
slope.
learn that
Glide to slope.
plane will complain
Glide
about
to slope.
everything
Glide to slope.
unless you do it
Glide
right.
to slope.
Here it's
Glide to
complaining
slope.
that I'm above
Glide to
glide
slope.
slope.
Glide
If I
to
got
slope.
too low
Glide
to the
to
ground,
slope.
it will complain
Glide
that my
to
landing
slope.
gear was down.
Glide to slope.
If I bank too
Glide to
steep,
slope.
it complains
Glide
about
to
the bank
slope.
angle.
Glide
If
to
I
slope.
go too fast,
Glide
it
to
complains
slope.
about the overspeed.
Glide to slope.
This plane
Glide to
complains
slope.
about
Glide to
every
slope.
freaking thing in the
Glide
book.
to slope.
It also has
Glide
a
to
very,
slope.
very cool
Glide
button.
to slope.
Before you
Glide
take
to
off,
slope.
you just click
Glide
the
to
button,
slope.
and it'll tell you if you're
Glide
good
to
or
slope.
if you're not good.
500.
Why
Glide
are
to
the
slope.
other planes from
Glide to-
Boeing or Aerosoft, Airbus
400.
doesn't have that feature is beyond me. One of the reasons I love Embraer jets.
300. 200.
Still at idle.
100.
Wraps up. Runway. Control. Viewers.
Embraer 0 Hotel Papa, turn next taxiway.
Okay, not a bad landing. You know, I just put up a video about X-Plane, and everything that you see here in all my videos, you can do in X-Plane. You have to figure out how to do it, or how X-Plane implements the user interface capabilities to do all these shots, but it can be done. So if you haven't taken the dive into X-Plane yet, I suggest that you do. You'll be pleasantly surprised. Alright, let's see how I do with this park job. See, that's what happens when the plane is too heavy. There comes the stop again. Give it more gas to get rolling again. Then go through the power down. And remember, put the line through your right leg and count to about 2 or 3 after the T goes past you. Let's see how we did. Got some good recordings there. Nothing crashed on me. Not too bad. Go ahead and do the power down. Not too bad. All right, let's go ahead with the power down. Stop the engine. Off. Right. Make up your mind. What button will you choose? The other way. Okay. Off. Go. Okay. Last but not least, carriers. Alright, cool. That was not a bad flight at all. made it home. It took me 3 months to finish my Florida tour. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get my box going so I can do continue my Colorado tour. Also, the folks from Flight 1 has been from the tech support have been emailing. I'm going to help them try and debug the issue with the DLL that's causing them problems. And that will be all. I think I'm done with the Phenom 300 for now. Flightsimguy here. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.